Hi, Shabbat Tov, everybody, a special edition today. I know a lot of people are very, very much excited because the European Championships 2024 have started. So I thought I'd do a special edition speaking about what can we learn from this competition over here, what about the history within regards to it, how we can improve ourselves and our Jewish identity within regards to it, and should we be enjoying this, should we be not, should we be going over the top with it, should we be watching it the whole time? What should we be doing, friends, over here? We will talk about it now, and wait. Yes, again I scored. Again. Maybe I should be playing, but I thought I'd have a conversation. I think we had this. We spoke about this at the start of the World Cup. It was less than 2 years ago. I think it was in last winter. We did a special edition. That was also on Motzei Shabbat. I very much remember also. So people are excited. It started yesterday during Shabbat. So obviously I'm not following it huge time, but obviously checking the scores after Shabbat. There's obviously, let's just say, curiosity and within regards to competition. And we know that there's probably billions and billions and billions of dollars being spent on this with advertising. There's prize money up for grabs. There's superstars up for grabs. Let's say someone could score even one goal and that will change their life forever. We know that in these competitions, that's how it goes. I think it was in 1992, the first tournament I watched when I was a kid. I think Denmark won it surprisingly, and it made the star out of the two goal scorers in the final. They became famous even till nowadays, and these were people that no one really knew or heard of before they scored those specific goals, respectively. But what can we learn from it? You know, so many people get crippled into the football. You know, they know all the scores, they know all the statistics, who's the top scorer, who's that. But it gives us a lesson in life sometimes, that how we can channel this. You know, people study the whole time, whatever subject it is. People study to become a doctor, people study to become an accountant, and they go through so many exams. But somehow, when it comes to learning about all the football results, you know, the whole league table, there's a fantasy football league where people put money in and stuff like that. Everyone knows what they bet. Everyone knows what the score was at the end of the day. So one thing we can learn from this competition is that whatever you are working in life, whether it's in the job, what you're studying exams to become a doctor, if you channel that thing which you are engaged in, like you are with, let's say, the football results and all that, and you've got the exams coming up, you'll be able to be brilliant at it. You'll be able to know everything else, because one needs to channel that interest that they've got in that thing, especially, i.e. the football over here, and channel it in their life that they want. But what's also interesting is, you know, it just shows that when you're interested in something, you can have so much data. Now, friends, I want to tell you something just about myself. I think it was just after university, I started up a football business. I did. And this was back in the year 2005. I did a lot of websites, and I got really, really into it. And used to come at the top of the rankings everywhere. And it got many, probably more than some millions of hits and stuff like that. I didn't really make much money from it because I didn't monetize it with a plan. But it became like, let's just say, it became my life at one stage. That's all I really cared about was, you know, my dream was to actually have like a special place in the stadium where a special dugout, let's just say, to watch the games, to commentate on the games. That would have been, let's say, a ambition of mine. This was 18 years ago. But, you know, that wasn't meant to be. And I went on a religious journey at the end. And imagine if I didn't go on that religious journey, you know, there's some people that are really engrossed in, let's say, the football. They're in the industry. They're doing really well. They could be making hundreds of thousands of pounds a year and so on and so forth. But is that bringing them true happiness at the end of the day? All of this wealth that they're getting, all this money that they are garnering up or whatever it might be, all this statistics, all this prestige. They get the photos done with the top football players. Is that really giving them true happiness at the end of the day? Is that like, yes, of course, it's going to be, people will have a great time with it, especially if you're into it. Yeah, you'll love it. You can brag about it to everyone else. You can show off, put the photos everywhere. But are you making a change at the end? And all the more so we see recently that after the atrocities on the 7th of October that actually took place at the time, I think England played a football match only 2 weeks later, and the Football Association, if I'm not mistaken, they did not agree to light the stadium colours blue and white in solidarity with Israel. They came up with all these different reasons and stuff like that. And, so are they really for us, all these things? We see, I think in the last World Cup, one of the football teams, they came out with Palestinian flags out at the end when they were celebrating the victory and all these comments. When it happens to be the one time someone, let's say one of the goal scorers, will take out an Israeli flag to celebrate, like I think it happened in 2006 and 2010, they get utterly condemned by everyone else. So at the end of the day, it's great we get into it. People might feel it's great to get into it, but we've got more things, important things at the moment. We could be using that time. Yes, people are into it. Okay, watch your highlights. Don't get too much into it. How about praying for the safety of the hostages? How about praying for the safety of Israel? How about doing acts of kindness also at the same time? Yes, we must not get too into it. Obviously enjoy it, a little bit here if you are really into it, that is. Don't get into it, specifically per se. But at the same time, there's so much we can be achieving in life. And, if you say there's a football match tomorrow, I think England are playing Serbia. Why not, if you're into it, learn about the history of the Jewish community of Serbia when you're researching on it. Who are the great rabbis of Serbia? What went on in Serbia? What's the community like? We know that Serbia is the capital, has the capital, Belgrade, is of the old Yugoslavia. You can learn a lot online with regards to what was the Jewish community like in Yugoslavia. Something people won't know because just because it's timingly, England are playing Serbia. One of the greatest Zionists of all time, one of the great rabbis of all time, Rabbi Yehuda Alkali, he was rabbi of a synagogue, and he was very, very friendly with the grandfather of Theodor Herzl. And Rabbi Yehuda Alkali always urged that there should be people moving back to Israel and make a Jewish state. That was one of the things he did. One of the unsung heroes, let's just say, of nowadays, where we've got many millions of people living in Israel, and we've got a state of our own at the moment. He was advocating for a religious state at the moment. He actually came from Yugoslavia. He very much was part of Serbia and also Bosnia and Herzegovina. And we can learn a lot about that, those kind of things. Take that as an opportunity, as a springboard to learn more Jewish education on those areas. And that will very much be very thought provocative. So I hope that was enjoyable. Everyone, if you're into it, not saying not to enjoy it, but enjoy it. But at the same time, you can learn wisdom in Judaism. There's nothing like it in the world. And wishing you all a good day. I scored. I'm not going to be playing, obviously. I'm not part of it. But it's also another thing I just want to add also is that Israel obviously is not taking part in it. One of my ideas is how Israel will qualify is if the games they play in the qualification will not be on Shabbat. Also, I've complained about this on other places before. I'm telling you now, they've got a much better chance of qualifying for the competitions. It is because obviously Hashem doesn't want us to desecrate the Shabbat. And if we were playing the games during the week, imagine what, let's say, Kiddush Hashem it would be. If Israel was scheduled to play a game, and then the government would actually say, no, we are not going to do it on Shabbat. We will not play during Sukkot. We will not play during a Yom Tov. We will actually play when it is permissible over here. Imagine that they'll do it. I'm telling you now, if they take that stance in qualifying for the next World Cup that is coming up, I think they've got a great chance of qualifying. There's a lot of noise around me, I think, next door. There's some sort of celebration. They're not celebrating the football over here. I can guarantee that. There's a load of seminary girls that are in the apartment next to us, adjacent to us. So I'm not too sure. Let's hope there's a simcha over there. But wishing all the Shavuot and Barach. We came out of Havdalah. We came out of Shabbat Parashat Naso. It was the longest parashat in Sedra. 176 verses. Okay, friends, I know all the statistics when it comes to the Chumash with regards to Parashat. I know a lot of those things. Why not, if we want to know the statistics of the football once again, or the sports statistics, or the basketball statistics, we can channel that in the Torah. Knowing the Torah statistics. How many pasukim there are in each parasha, respectively, which you are reading. How many mishnayot. How many many chapters there are in each one respectively. Why can't we channel that geniusness into something else? So guys, wishing you all a fantastic day. Shavua Tov and enjoy.